Hi, and welcome to Pet Pals. Every week we showcase animals that are looking for forever homes at the Frederick County Division of Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. I'm Linda Shea, the Division Director. With me is Randy Cooper, and as promised, we've got some special guests on our show today. We've got some of the cats that came in from one location. We took in about 40 a few weeks ago from one home, and now a lot of these cats are heading out to rescue, and some will be available on our adoption floor. And the first one available on our adoption floor is Ruben. He is extremely handsome. He's our domestic brown tabby in the group. He's got almost a combination of classic tabby markings, and he is polydactyl, meaning that he's got extra toes. Most of the cats in that collection are younger. They're about 1.5 to 2 years old, and I would put Ruben at somewhere around 2 years old. He's a fairly mature male. Prior to leaving here, these guys will be spayed and neutered, which is something that if you are in possession of a cat or dog and you live in Frederick County, if you're not aware, we have an overpopulation of pets. So if you have a cat in your home, you want to make sure that you get that cat spayed or neutered. But Ruben has tested negative for feline leukemia and FIV. We have tested the cats in that group for those two viruses, and they have all tested negative. The one thing about leukemia is that it can test negative on day 1, and then from day 30 through 90 might test positive. So our recommendation is that you consider retesting, but of course that's a conversation between you and your veterinarian. But again, this is Ruben. You can see he's pretty active. They're not used to being held as such, but they're very agreeable to sitting on your lap and certainly interacting. And I think that at this point they're all enjoying just the one-on-one attention that they're getting. So this little girl is Cherry. She is also about 18 months, 2 years old. She's a tortoiseshell, so that makes her a girl. And she was initially coming in cat given the number 50. So there's a lot of questions that people have about cases like this where we've got way too many animals in one home. And some of it is, what condition are they in? How social are they? The ones that we're showcasing today on Pet Pals are actually quite social, but they're not used to being held. If you can imagine being one of 40-some cats in one small home, you're not getting one-on-one attention. So the idea of the one-on-one attention is appealing to them, but at the same time they're a little uncomfortable with it. So we've got Cherry kind of snuggled in a towel just for her security, and similar to a small child that's got a security blanket, sometimes wrapping or swaddling a cat, or especially kittens, can kind of instill a sense of comfort and confidence. And a lot of times if you're holding cats, the closer you hold them to your body, the more secure they feel, and it's less likely that you'll drop them, and I think that's sometimes one of their fears. But Cherry she's adorable. She's very small build. She's just under 7 pounds, and she, like the rest of the cats that we're planning on getting on our adoption floor going to rescue, we have tested the whole entire bunch for feline leukemia and FIV. They've tested negative. We've provided vaccines to them, preventative vaccines. Coming in, we had some issues with fleas, so that we've given them preventatives for fleas and ear mites. According to our normal protocol, we've also preventatively treated them with something called Ponzeril for coccidia, which is a protozoa that cats can have in their intestines. So, but Cherry she's very sweet. One of the heads up that we'll give anybody who's interested in adopting, you want to make sure that you've got a lot of patience, because a cat like Cherry is going to need a lot of patience and some time to acclimate to your home. So if you've had cats in the past that have been overly affectionate, friendly, loud, vocal, that's not really what you're going to get with this kitty, but given enough time, she will become a wonderful pet for somebody. So this handsome fella is named Chicorita. He came in also with the 40-plus cats from the one family. So again, he's a little bit shy. We've got him swaddled to make him more comfortable. These cats I consider them to be, they're not overly social, but they are definitely agreeable to being pet, to being handled. This little fellow will be neutered prior to leaving here. We will microchip them, so in the event they get away from their new owners, we'll be able to return them. Sometimes when we are handling cats that are a little bit fractious or a little bit less than social, we've got to either swaddle them in towels. I know some people will see us hold them on a little bit tighter, and that's for their own protection. We certainly don't want Chicorita to escape, to hurt himself, so that's why I've got a little tighter grip on him for Pet Pals. But again, he's very sweet. As you can see, he's not really making any effort to get away. However, he would like to be exploring the room at the moment, and that's one of the downsides whenever we take in animals in a large quantity from one location. They don't really get time to stretch their legs. There's a period of time when they have to be housed in small quarters, sometimes temporary housing, again for their own benefit and for us to be able to kind of figure out what's going on with them. But this little guy is Chicory, again about 1.5 to 2 years old and available for adoption. So this is our 4th cat from our situation at the shelter that we're showcasing this week. This is Walnut. He is also a boy. He's about 2 to 3 years old, and you can just tell looking at his face he's a little more mature than the previous cats we've looked at. He is about 8.5 pounds, and again, none of these guys are they're fairly social, but again, they need somebody who's going to be patient with them. If I were going to adopt one of these cats, I would really assess my patience, my tolerance level. They're not necessarily going to fit right in right away. They're going to need some time, some quiet time. With any of our cats, regardless of their background or circumstances, when you adopt from us, one thing that we recommend is to isolate that cat in your home in a quiet area. A small room, bedroom, even a powder room for about 10 to 14 days. And that allows them to acclimate gently to your home. They'll hear your coffee maker and your garage door and the neighbor's dogs and all those things from a safe area. And in that safe area, you provide them their litter box, their food and water dish, some toys. You can leave a radio on for them to listen to, or TV on QVC, that tends to be a little happier channel, or something that's just calm and serene. One thing you don't want to do with a cat like this is to just thrust them into a busy home and expect them to be social and come running to you. A lot of times cats will run away if they're scared or if they're in unfamiliar territory, and they will look for somewhere to hide so that they can be safe. So our role here is to make sure that these cats are placed into a loving home that will also be aware that you are expected to provide a safe environment for them, and certainly to provide them the care that they've not received so far. Prior to leaving here, Walnut will be neutered. He'll be microchipped in the event he gets away from his family. We'll be able to reunite him. He's tested negative for feline leukemia and FIV, and that's important to know if you have existing cats in your home. And Walnut is also polydactyl, which means he's got extra toes, and for a lot of people, they seek cats that have extra toes. They consider that to be good luck. So what we'll consider good luck for him is finding him a home that will understand that he needs a little bit of space, a little bit of time, and a calm environment to acclimate successfully. So if any of these 4 cats have gotten your attention, if you are interested in helping them out by adopting, you want to make sure that you contact the shelter. But again, this is Walnut, and he is looking for a second chance, certainly a better situation than the one he came from. We're going to go ahead and take a short break. When we get back from our break, we'll take a look at some more cats and one dog that are looking for homes through the Frederick County Division of Animal Control.
Enjoy an afternoon with your furry four-legged friend at Parks and Recreation's annual Bark in the Park event. Your pooch will have an opportunity to run free in one of our off-leash areas, test and sharpen their skills on the agility course, and participate in doggy contests. Bark in the Park also provides great opportunities for families to adopt a dog, learn different training techniques, and sample dog-related products. With live demonstrations throughout the day, the event is sure to be a doggone good time. Pre-registration is encouraged, so visit recreator.com for more information.
Seniors stay active and engaged in the community while making new friends by participating in events at Frederick County Senior Centers. Each of the 4 centers provide a variety of educational, health, fitness, and recreational activities, as well as resources to help area seniors maintain their wellness and independence. Nutritious congregate meals are offered daily for contributions of up to $5, and limited transportation services are provided for seniors 60 and older. Advanced registration is required for both of these services. Contact your local senior center for specific information about the programs and services offered in your area.
Hi, I'm Tracy and this is Catherine. We are Frederick County 911 dispatchers and we're here to tell you what to expect when dialing 911.
We're on the line to listen, and we also have important instructions to give you. Your 911 operator needs to get essential information from you as quickly as possible by asking the following questions in this order.
What is the address of the emergency so we can send the right help to the right location? What is the phone number you're calling from? If the line disconnects, we may need to call you back. What is your name so we can address you properly? And tell me exactly what happened. Asking these questions allows operators to start dispatch to emergencies quickly.
Your 911 operator is often working closely with one or more dispatchers, obtaining important information which is relayed to responders who are on the way to your location while you are still on the phone.
This process is repeated on each call to ensure responders get to each emergency as quickly and safely as possible with the right information to provide the best service they can.
Law enforcement, fire and rescue, and other responders rely on 911 operators and dispatchers to obtain specific information that varies with each type of call. Sometimes it may seem as though your 911 operator is asking a series of unnecessary questions, but in fact this information is vital for getting the right help sent to the right place. Often, help is already on the way while your 911 operator is talking to you.
While emergency crews are responding, dispatchers continue to provide them with updated information gathered by your 911 operator.
Also, your 911 operator may be able to provide you with important life-saving direction, from how to safely exit a building on fire to CPR instruction, providing important information for staying safe and out of danger during a vehicle accident, as well as helping a caller deliver a baby.
For more information, visit frederickcountymd.gov/911 or call the non-emergency number at 301-600-1603.
Welcome back to Pet Pals. Now we're going to take a look at some of our more traditional cats that are on our regular adoption floor. First up is Simon. We named him Simon. He came to us as a stray back in early March from Highland School Road in Myersville. So again, if you're missing a cat, dog, any type of domestic pet, you want to make sure you check the shelter. We are the one and only animal shelter in Frederick County, so when our officers go out to different parts of the county, if they get calls on stray animals running at large, the animals end up here. If citizens come across stray animals, they will bring them here as well. Simon is extremely personable. He's a big guy. He's a little over 12 pounds, and we have him as approximately 5 to 6 years old. So what that means is that he qualifies for our senior pet discount. So instead of $97.50, his adoption fee would be $77.50. He came to us already neutered, so we know that at some point somebody cared enough to get him neutered, so he's not contributing to the overpopulation of cats in the community. But again, he's been here as a stray and nobody has come looking for him, so he's on our adoption floor for adoption. We have brought him up to speed on vaccines, on preventatives, deworming. He's a little bit overweight according to our vet notes, so the best way to reduce a cat's weight is to start by measuring their food. If you measure their food, then you can have a discussion with your vet about how much you're feeding and maybe how much needs to be cut back. But that's definitely a conversation between you and your veterinarian. Anything that has to do with your pet regarding vaccines, preventatives, their overall health, their diet, their behavior. Your vet's going to be the first stop that you need to make sure that you provide the best care possible. But this is Simon. He is purring up a storm. He is very affectionate. It looks like he is just designed to be a lap cat. So if you're looking for a cat like this, I would come in and check out Simon. This little girl is Francine. She's about 18 months to 2 years old. Came in previously owned by someone. They just had too many cats, couldn't keep her. So we've already gone ahead and had her spayed, rabies vaccinated, brought her up to speed on the other vaccines that we do here. So often people ask us about, our cat population, and every year we take in twice as many cats and kittens as any other species. And we only take in animals from within Frederick County because your tax dollars pay for us to exist and perform the job duties and services that we provide. One of the things that we try to stress always when people are relinquishing pets, especially owned pets, is that if spaying and neutering is an issue, if it's cost prohibitive for you, there are lots of resources out there to assist you with getting that done at either low cost and sometimes even free. So please ask us. Rather than relinquishing a pet, we would much rather help you out and provide you information to get animals spayed or neutered. Francine, again, is already spayed. She's very affectionate. Part of the joy of this age group is that you're beyond the nonsense of kittens, but she's still, as you can see, very playful, very active, very social, friendly. She will come up to the front of her cage and headbutt, and you can see she's fairly confident. So if you're looking for what we categorize as a juvenile cat, Francine would be a good choice. This handsome fella is Barry. Barry came to us as a stray from Riverwalk Place in Frederick just about a week or so ago. With strays, we hold strays for 5 days to allow their owners to come to the shelter and find them. You can certainly call us if you are missing a cat. You can call in a lost report, but the best thing to do is actually to come to the shelter, visit. We will escort you through the building. We've got areas beyond our adoption floor where we house animals, so it's important when you get to the shelter to check in at the front desk. Let us know that you're here looking for a lost pet, and we can help you move forward with that. But Barry is here now. He is a little over 10 pounds, well, almost 11, 10 pounds, 12 ounces. We've brought him up to speed on vaccines, including a rabies vaccine. We've tested him negative for feline leukemia and feline immunodeficiency virus. We guess his age is somewhere between 1 and 2 years old. When strays come in, we have absolutely no information. And I know a lot of times we will post gorgeous animals on Facebook and other social media outlets, and we get lots of questions if we know if they're good with children, if they're good with dogs, if they're good with other cats. When we post animals as stray, we truly don't know anything about them. As they're here longer, we can tell you about their health. We can tell you about their behavior and their interaction with people, with us, the caretakers. But as far as a history with children, with small animals, with small dogs, we just have really no way of telling. What we suggest, if you do have animals in your home or small children, when you come in to visit, talk to a volunteer or staff person, and we can offer some insight as to how to successfully introduce a new pet to your existing pets, to your family. But as far as having a history on strays, we really don't have a lot when they come in. So we take notes. We have incident reports for good and bad behavior that we witness, that we can offer as much information as we can. But Barry is, what I can tell you about him, he seems to be very accommodating as far as a lap cat. He is stunningly gorgeous. I'm sure he would be very happy to just sit in somebody's lap and get brushed. This little girl is Willow. She came to us previously owned. Her family was moving, couldn't take her to their new apartment. And they had acquired her a couple of years ago on Craigslist. And during that time, they got her as a kitten. They've had her for 2 years, and she's never been vetted. So one thing that you really need to consider when you are adding a pet to your family, the vet. You need a vet in your life. Your animal needs to go to the veterinarian at least once a year Depending on the situation, circumstances, species, age, they may have to go to your veterinarian more than once a year. And that's a cost that you really have to think about. Cats that are Willow's age, usually it's about $750 to $1,000 a year when you include vet care, food, and other things that the cats may need. So you want to make sure that you definitely include that into a budget. It's not fair to acquire an animal without being able to provide vet care to them. And the reason I'm focusing on vet care for Willow, she came to us just about 10 days ago at 4 pounds 13 ounces, really underweight for her body structure. Most cats weigh an average of 8 pounds, but that can waver from cat to cat. We went ahead and gave her the preventative she needs, vaccines, and deworming. And at this point, which is about 5 days from the time that she came into us to the time we weighed her again, so she started at 4 pounds 13 ounces, and she was able to, in 5 days, get up to 5 pounds 0.5 ounce. So she's gained a significant number of ounces in just a few days through good nutrition, but also we've gone ahead and dewormed her. Some parasites can transmit from people or from animals to people, so if you have small children in your family, you want to make sure that you are instilling in them washing their hands after they're touching your pet. Even if your pet stays indoors, there might still be some parasites evident that can be transmitted. So Willow has been dewormed, taken care of as far as that goes, so we expect her to gain quite a few more ounces. She will always be a small build cat, but again, keeping her healthy, and part of keeping her healthy is making sure that she gets to a vet at least once a year. And if you've got pets of your own now, go ahead and discuss with your veterinarian appropriate deworming, parasite preventatives. If there's any diagnostics that need to be done, those are all very valuable to keeping your pet healthy, but also your family healthy. So for those of you that have been watching Pet Pals on a regular basis, you realize that we've got way more cats in the building available for adoption than dogs. Today, as we're filming, Bama is the only dog that we have at the moment that has no adoption applications. Bama came to us originally as a stray, but he had a microchip that we were able to trace back. We contacted or made an attempt to contact the owner, and the owner has not returned phone calls. So we hold strays for a 5-day period to allow the person, the owner, to come forward and either claim the animal or contact us if they're missing an animal. In Bama's case, Bama is now available for adoption. So what we know about him, he's about 8 years old and he's about 19 pounds. We've gone ahead and given him the normal preventatives. We do have preventative protocols when strays enter our shelter because we don't know their medical background. We want to make sure that we are protecting them and that we are protecting our existing population. So for dogs, we do a distemper combo vaccine. We do an intranasal Bordetella to prevent kennel cough. We also have given him a rabies vaccine because he's on our adoption floor. We want to make sure that folks that come into contact with any of the animals on our adoption floor are protected, as well as the animals. And we have gone ahead and he has had our veterinarian take a look at him. He does have normal older dog things. He's got some skin tags. His eyes are just slightly cloudy, but as you can tell, he's got a great demeanor. We do have him slated for older children or adult home only. And the reason we do that, we don't like imposing restrictions. However, it's our obligation to make sure that adoptions are as successful as possible. And a lot of times dachshunds, especially older ones, may not have a tolerance for small toddlers. And we like kids, we really do, but kids get so enthusiastic. They go for the ears and they yank on tails, and they might actually try to ride this little guy. So we don't want that to happen. So if you've got dachshund experience and you want to discuss, adopting him for your family, if you've got small children, we're open to discussion, but again, our obligation is to the animals that come here. When animals are brought to the shelter, this is at least their second stop in life. We know with Bama, this is more than likely his fourth stop. He was probably born somewhere was adopted out to someone, had somebody find him as a stray, and now he's here at the shelter. So we want to make sure that we can offer him a consistent future, something that he hasn't really had thus far in life. So if you're looking for a dachshund, if you're looking for a senior dog, sometimes people are a little discouraged at, an 8-year-old dachshund, but don't let that dissuade you. He's a cute little guy. He's got good manners. Seems to be house trained. We do behavior tests all of our dogs, so we can offer that information to you. So if you're looking for a smaller dog and are interested in Bama, we encourage you to come to visit, or at least research dachshunds. Ask questions, go to any of the breed clubs that are maybe online, and do some research before you're adopting him. But he is available for adoption, and right now just the only dog that we have that's available for adoption. And that wraps it up for this week's Pet Pals. We hope you enjoyed the show. The first 4 cats, again, came from a situation where they were just 4 of about 40. So you want to take that into consideration. If you can open your homes, open your hearts to those types of cats, please let us know. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time on Pet Pals.